Businesses around the world are embracing digitalization and other tech advancements as they aim to sustain recovery from the pandemic. So how are Filipino firms holding up? Joining us is Donald Lim, Management Association of the Philippines. Hi, Donald. Welcome to The Final Word.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, you know that the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated advancements in digitalization as more consumers prioritize convenience and safety. So, do you think Filipino companies are ahead of the curve?
I think mostly we had a slow start. So it took us 3, 4, 5 months before all of us were able to adjust to this. But I think once we adjusted, we saw that our Filipino consumers are very much tech savvy. They went into online wallets. They become very experts in buying online. At the same time, they also went into a bit into Web3 gaming called Axie Infinity. So all of these all happening at the same time. Most are at their homes doing nothing. So it really opened up a lot of consumers really jumping into digital. So we see also even the older segments like 50, 60, 70 who never opened a Facebook account, eventually went there, who never wanted to watch Netflix, all went in. So you're talking about a very digital Filipino landscape right now.
Very adapted very quickly. But is the Philippines a conducive environment for firms seeking to, ramp up digitalization amidst the transition to post-pandemic life?
I think we are, because I think what is more important is really the market base. So from a consumer perspective, you see a very digitized Filipino consumer. I think our internet access is still maybe a bit struggling, but we're not too far because you're talking about 70-80% of Filipinos already have internet access. All of them are using chat apps, communicating with one another. So before we were the tech capital of the world, now we are the social media capital of the world. It's so innate in us to do it.
Okay.
So it's all about now the companies trying to understand that phenomenon and trying to create the platforms to accommodate these new consumer demands.
But what do you think are the common obstacles faced by company leaders in the quest to go digital and adopt new technological advancements?
Because digital is such a big word.
Yes.
And you realize that if you are a brick and mortar company, if you sell, for example, a flat iron, like an appliance, or anything that doesn't have to do with digital before, you immediately say, oh, let's have an e-commerce website, or let's go to a social media page. But apparently, it's not copy and paste, right? So I think they have to have an overall media and digital strategy. They have to understand how all of these platform works and how they will complement their current business. Right? So it's not just a copy-paste that I have a physical store, now let's start an online store and set it up and let's sell there. Apparently, that is not the case.
Yeah, it's not so easy. So one of the hot-button tech topics now is artificial intelligence. Is it a friend or a foe to Filipino companies?
I would think, in all honesty, it's a friend to many. But if you do not understand, then you will be scrambling. Right? What is our AI? Right? Everyone would just say, okay, it's ChatGPT. That's just the tip of the iceberg,
yes.
Right? But in order to use AI to make better decisions, I mean, AI has been there for the longest time, but no one understands how to use it. We only know and started talking about AI because of ChatGPT and said, okay, that's AI.
But so the first step is really understanding artificial intelligence. So how else can company leaders harness the benefits of artificial intelligence while ensuring that their workers aren't left behind given these advancements?
The essence of artificial intelligence means that the computers will start learning on its own, right? This is the essence of machine learning. So that when you put a certain program, you allow these programs to grow by itself, and at the same time, they now can make decisions faster for humans. We're already seeing that a lot. For example, some call centers are already struggling because sometimes you might get a phone call and someone will be saying, oh, this is from a bank. You thought that you're talking to a live person, but it's not. It's actually a robot.
Yes.
Right? So that's from a consumer interface side. On the back end, we're also seeing that decisions are going to be made much faster. If, for example, if you have a restaurant or if you have a retail store, by using artificial intelligence, you can actually predict very quickly when is the next purchase happening. You can plan your supply chain faster, your inventory faster. You can look at, you can decide way faster. Right?
So these are the benefits for the companies.
That's
what
right.
about for the workers? Like making sure that their workers aren't going to be, kind of shut out in this new environment?
It's going to be very challenging. I think that, for example, even the BPO industry, all of those that require a lot of mechanical work, anything that has to do with mechanical work will be very challenged. What we always say, even for us in school, You know, I teach in a school, and I teach multimedia arts, and part of that is architecture, part of it is interior design, multimedia arts. Before, you would teach drawing, you would teach how do you create a draft, a portfolio. But right now, it's just one click. Everything is done by AI.
So it has to be upskilling.
It has to be upskilling. Everyone has to be there.
Well, speaking of AI, digitalization, these are just some of many factors the CEOs and business leaders of today face. How is the Management Association of the Philippines helping to prepare company executives for these developments?
We're doing a lot of IT summits, IT sessions. In fact, when IT before was used to be a very scary word, now we're seeing more CEOs and managers become more open to it. We talk now very comfortably about the importance of cybersecurity. We talk about the importance of having a right social media strategy. How do you talk to your customers? How do you manage PR if someone is attacking you online? So all of these, I think before, most leaders shy away. Now they wouldn't mind going head on and understanding and learning how to cope with all of those.
Well, MAP is also holding its 21st International CEO Conference in a few days. What does this event hope to achieve this year?
The CEO Conference is MAP's biggest event annually. And it's a gathering of all the CEOs in our industry. And at the same time, we look for the experts in each of our, not only in our business, but there's a role in the MAP CEO Conference, only global speakers coming in. So we're flying in, for example, the Secretary General of ASEAN. We're flying in the chairman of PricewaterhouseCoopers. We're having an economist from of ASEAN, of HSBC, all coming in speaking about
what topics? What topics exactly?
Mostly, they will talk about trade, economics, technology, digitization. So it's a very macro view. What is important for every CEO conference is for us to know. Most of us are in the planning session now for 2024. So we want to understand also what is going to affect us overall, not only from a technology perspective, but also, like what you're saying earlier, geopolitical, economics. How do we plan ahead? How do we plan our business? Is it growing? Is it going to go? Are we going to go into a recession?
It sounds like there's a lot of topics that you're going to be covering. How can interested business executives join this year's International CEO Conference?
Just go to our Facebook page, Management Association of the Philippines. Just ping us there, or just go to our website, map.ph, and we have all the details there.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Donald Lim, Management Association of the Philippines Vice President.
Thank you.